You are Zed. You are Zed 220 Bozo Net, beaming sort of the Bay Area and or KW6S towards Santa Cruz, K6MYC, calling and listening.
K6MYC, KW6S.
Oh, how about that? You must have been 100 yards from the mic.
Well, I was just getting off my other net, and I heard you, and it took me a couple of switches to get things set up here. Good evening, Mike.
Yeah, good evening, Tom. Well, I'm a little late, too. We didn't get set down for dinner until 20 after, so I was just trying to cram the last piece of chicken down my throat before I walked in here. Anyway, good evening to you. Sounding very strong over here tonight. KW6S. We never did hear you last night, and I did not either. I didn't hear Lee either. We called, and I did not go back at the end of the net for late checks and missed. We had kitties in the shack. We had two opposing forces. Our two black kitties, Abby and Blackie, they were trying to get along with each other, but they were in the shack and we weren't in the barn. We weren't sure that Abby wasn't going to attack Blackie, and Blackie was sitting up nailed against my radio and up against the controller. And I couldn't turn. I didn't want to move him. And he was up against the controller, so I never did go around in your direction there from north. But I figured if there was a lot of chatter on the frequency, you would have heard somebody. KW6S, Santa Cruz, K6MYC, Bozo Net 222.
Yeah, well, and by the way, I should give my number of 610. Yeah, I did a contest that started 5 o'clock Tuesday or Saturday morning and ended at 5 o'clock yesterday morning, Sunday morning, local. And I didn't get enough sleep going in, and I was in pretty bad shape. I just didn't get recovered well enough to get back to the net tonight, or last night. But I'm all recovered now, and I should be here good most of the week. I think all week I should be good. So, and I haven't heard from Lee. I keep forgetting to drop him another email, but he did not check in on our 10-meter net tonight either. So I'll rattle his cage a little bit in the next 10 minutes here. Yeah, I don't know what else is going on. It's getting pretty warm here. I'm guessing it is there too, but certainly comfortable sitting out on the deck and in the breeze when it comes up in the evening. K6MYC, KW6S.
Yeah, no, it was a little warmer today. I was stacking wood for a while, and I got pretty warm, and I got really sweaty. It must have been quite humid because I was really sweating. And I came in to get a drink, and then one thing led to another, and I got interrupted, and the next thing I know, I was working on a different project, which I've just about got finished now, and I ran out of time before dinner. Anyway, so behind the curve, but it was, to go back to the weather aspect of it, was warmer. We were supposed to be at 98 today, but it might have gotten there. I wasn't paying too much attention to what the temperature was, and I was in the house the last half of the day, so there you go. Okay, on Lee, no worries, but he's just like you say, everybody seems to be trying to finish up other projects for the winter and so on. I'm trying to do that here. I've got a whole bunch of really beautiful dry oak and a little bit of pine mixed in, but it's all dry and the bark is flaking off of it. And I picked it up, I'm stacking it, and I'm taking it, and I prepared a section inside the chicken pen, which I'm not using now. I'm going to store the wood in there. I've run out of room on the other side of the wood barn. So I'm going to put it in there just because I don't need it, but I don't want it to get wet again since it's dried out beautifully. And maybe I'll give somebody some firewood through the course of the winter. Anyway, let me let you go, and we'll get on up into the Bay Area and see who we have on 222 here this evening. So far, the world has not come completely apart at the seams. I guess the Middle East thing is rumbling, but no great differences in what's going on there. No big shattering details. KW6S, K6MY.
Yeah, very well, very good. I haven't followed too much about what's going on in the world. At some point I feel a little helpless if there's not too much I can do with it except try to live through it. Yeah, it was up in the maybe at the upper 80s today here, which is pretty warm for Santa Cruz, but it's cooled down real nice this evening, and I think we have another couple of days of this. And I'll let you get on to the Bay Area, and I'll listen around and see what I hear, and catch you on 6 meters later. K6MYC, KW6S.
Okay, sounds good. See you on 6 in a few minutes, Tom. KW6S, K6MYC, bumping into the Bay Area and calling QRZ 222, K6MYC Bay Area, taking check-ins, over.
K6MYC, K6MYC, KD6S, okay.
Yeah, good evening, Fred. I'm sure that I knew you would be there. You are always here on 222 and 432. Good to hear you. How are you doing? How was your weekend, over?
Oh, not bad. It was a nice weekend. It was quiet, relaxing. Although it's starting to get warm today, now it's supposed to be much hotter. So I'm kind of hunkered down for the evening, and hopefully we'll get the house cool down tonight. So I running some fans for the heat wave tomorrow. Then it's supposed to drop off on Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to keep getting warmer here. We were supposed to be 98 today. I don't know what it really was. I didn't look. But the temperature was supposed to be 98, supposed to be a little over 100 tomorrow, and then I think Wednesday is our peak. So you'll probably peak one day ahead of us based on past experience. But it's not bothering me much, and I'm doing inside-outside work and not trying to kill myself out there, so the weather is not affecting us too much there. Anyway, good to hear you. You took a little fade at the end, but I was able to pull almost everything out there. Take another one and see what else is new and who else you're hearing. Maybe you can take a standby and see who else you're hearing in the Bay Area. Sometimes I hear the guys really well, sometimes I don't. KD6SOK, K6MYC.
Well, I heard JNN earlier. He's probably still listening. And I heard bits and pieces of Tom in Santa Cruz, not very distinct, but I'm not pointing at him either. So. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Well, I'll take a look for Jim. Hopefully he's in here. I got him written down, so if he was in here earlier, we'll get him in here. I got him logged in already. 7-3 for now, Fred. Thanks again, and we'll look for you. Maybe you don't get on 6 meters very often, but we always welcome your check-in there on 50.140 at about 8:45 or so. If you're still awake, hi. KD6SOK, K6MYC, clear with you, and taking standby for any other check-ins from the Bay Area. 222 Bozo Net.
Oh, Mike, I just heard Paul.
WDB6JNN, Baker 6, Japan, Norway,
Yep, you got it. Hang on a second, Jim. We got you checked in, but Fred said something and I didn't get it. You guys were taking each other out there. What was the comment, Fred?
I just heard Paul, WIS up there in Placerville.
Okay, we can put 637 down and get him in there in a minute. I'll listen for Paul, but let me get Jim in here in the meantime. Thanks for the heads up, Fred. Over to you, Jim. WB6JNN. K6MYC.
Yeah, K6NYC, WB6JNN. Well, I took the day off today. I take Mondays off. We have a cleaning lady and somebody to be responsible for my wife when I'm not here. And I went down to Moss Landing and River Park, and I bombed around in the Monterey Bay area before I came home this afternoon. So had a real nice day. It was a nice day down there. But the fog was starting to come in around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was blowing in, at least down in the middle of the bay there. So I guess they were going to have some fog. WB6JNN.
Yeah, where you say you went to Moss Landing? Is that where you said?
Monterey.
Oh, Monterey. I thought you said Moss Landing. Okay, Monterey. Yes, that would be cooler.
No, Moss Landing.
Okay, Moss Landing. Where is Moss Landing? I've kind of forgotten.
It's right in the middle of the bay, where the power plant is.
San Francisco Bay?
Oh, no, Monterey Bay.
Oh, okay. So you were in Monterey. Okay. All right. Yeah, very good. And, okay, on the fog coming in, that means that it's going to turn cooler later for us, although I don't think we'll see any effect from that. It may just push the warm air over here. It was 98. Or thereabouts today, but it's supposed to even be warmer tomorrow. Anyway, you can take a day off anytime you want, Jim. You know, you're retired now.
Yeah, I don't leave my wife home alone anymore. She has many medical and memory issues these days.
Yeah, I know you're fighting that. It sort of comes with the territory called old age. Like my mom said, you got to be tough to get old. All right, buddy, take care. Good to hear you. And maybe we'll see you on 6 if you can muster the energy to get back in the shack around 9:15 or 9:45. WB6JNN, K6MYC. Let's see, Paul up K6WIS. Am I going to hear you, Paul?
Yes, good evening, Mike. K6MYC in the group. This is K6WIS Placerville, number 637. And when you pointed up towards the Bay Area, the conditions suddenly came good again, and you're up 5-6, almost a 5/7. Over.
Yeah, good signal here too. No problem whatsoever. And always better signals from you guys. You're over there. It's really funny. You go back and forth across the valley, and you have less fading than the guys that have a direct path to me from that area. It's because we do everything we're doing between you and me at a high altitude, and the fades and the inversions and the multipath doesn't seem to get into the picture much. Over.
Yes, roger that. This hill actually has a clear shot down into the valley right across to the mountains of the Bay Area, so that's kind of why I chose it, over.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good shot from up that way. I understand somebody contacted Fred the other day, or Fred contacted somebody, so he's floating around somewhere. I guess I guess I got that wrong. It wasn't Fred, it was Jeff. Jeff, KE6ILX. I was thinking it was Fred, but then we did work out who it was yesterday. It was Jeff, KE6ILX Mobile. Dennis thought it might have been K1YQP. Haven't heard him on for ages, so I don't know what's going on with Fred. He was a very active VHFer at one time, but I'm pretty sure that the medical and the health issues have taken its toll on Fred. And maybe he just doesn't have the incentive to get on and fight the antennas and fight the feed lines and that stuff anymore. Anyway, if you run across him, please give him our best, and hopefully he's doing okay. And we'd sure love to hear him back in here one of these days. K6WIS, any relays from you, Paul? Go ahead.
Oh, yes, the usual two Clear Lake folks, an N1 PPP and KA6OSX. I had a QSL with them just after 7 p.m. Over.
226 is here.
Who was that?
226.
Oh, he's back from a trip. Well, we're going to hear all about it, I'm sure. Good evening, Ken. Good to have you back, and you're sounding good and strong here. Okay, so Judy, that was 336 N1 PPP. You got him in there, N1 PPP 336 and KA6OSX 160. And then, of course, Ken. 226, Mr. Holden. How are you, sir?
Well, good evening, all. WA6OIV here, have returned. I'm doing fine, Yeah, we got back late Saturday night, and then yesterday we managed to get up and go to church, and after church we had lunch, and then fell asleep and didn't wake up till 10 o'clock last night. We got our jet lag fixed and everything, so. But anyway, I missed all the nets and everything last night. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. We thought about you, and we figured you had to be home, but you probably were suffering from jet lag. So whoever came up with that analysis was dead on, it sounds like. But it sounds like you sort of had to do that to get back in the normal groove there. Anyway, sounded good. Just quickly, did you have a good time? You didn't have any incidents of medical issues or anything between you or anybody else on the trip? Over.
Yeah, we sure did. We had instances. We had they lost all of our luggage, all 24 of us, and we didn't get our luggage until just a day or so before we left. So we went the whole almost the whole 2 weeks with one pair of pants, one shirt, one pair of underwear. So anyway, the luggage was trickling in little by little, and spent most of my time tracing people's luggage with our phones and, tracing things down, and ours finally showed up the day or so before we left. So we didn't get much use of our luggage over.
That's a shame.
I can't believe it.
But and other than that, Mrs. Killarney, did you have a good time?
Yeah, we had a great time. The other incident was my phone blew up the day we got there, so we didn't have a phone, and luckily I bought a new iPhone 15 for Gwen, so we at least had a camera and her phone. So my phone was toast. I took it to the Apple store in London, and they said it was toast. So the battery went bad in the dang thing and burnt the thing up. So anyway, no big deal. I got my old iPhone 6 out when I got back and got it back running again. So, but other than that, the trip was great. We had a good time. I got stories and whatnot, so we lay them along the way there. Don't hold up the net tonight. But anyway, we had a great time. So a lot of cool stuff, and it was a very upscale Colette company that we went with, and a very upscale. Did a nice job. So anyway, K6NYC and the gang, WA6OIB.
Yeah, very good. Hang on. Anyway, I was just explaining to Judy what was happening. You made a long transmission with your very unstable 220 220 radio there, and it went down about 200 cycles while you were talking. No problem. We copied everything, of course. But I was explaining to Judy why your voice kept changing as you were getting older and longer-winded. You were getting deeper and deeper and deeper voice. We're laughing about it. All right.
Glad you're safely home.
Yeah, she says you're glad she's here safely home, and hi to Gwen. Okay. Let's see who else we have in the Bay Area. I'm still pointed over that way, and I assume you're more or less in that direction, so let's see. Who's in the Bay Area that wants to check into the 220 Bozo Net? K6MYC with company. Hey, They've been pretty quiet since the convention, Ken. Can you imagine why?
Embarrassment?
Yeah. Okay. We had a long enough transmission. Jim was in here and SOK, and that's all we've got so far out of the Bay Area on 222 here. Kind of disappointing. They did the same thing on 2 meters last night. We only had 31 check-ins on 2 meters, which is down by 10 or so from normal, as you know. It's kind of it's a weak time of the summer too. Everybody's getting ready to go back to school if you got kids and other factors and vacations and whatever. Alrighty, one more call. Bay Area, K6MYC and the Bozo group standing by for anybody else in the Bay Area before we go to Oakley. Nothing heard, so here we are up toward Oakley. Looking for N6 Radio Oscar, Radio Oakley. Go ahead.
K6MYC, N6RO. Hi, Mike and Judy. High temperature today was, Bozo 835. High temperature 94, and we're cooking lamb chops later on. That's all I got to report in 6RO.
Okay. Sounding good. This radio that you're on now is a very thin one. Thin in the terms of your audio. It doesn't sound quite like your normal voice, but you're fine. We recognized you, and pretty good signal overall. Anyway, fine on the lamb chop dinner and the temperature. It was about the same. We got about 98 here today. What did you say your temp was?
94.
Yeah, same, pretty much in the same area. Everybody's going up and down around the western part of the U.S., kind of in concert. Everybody's up and then everybody's down. We did hear, Ken, you'll get a kick out of this, a couple of days ago, there was a little marine thing that came through here. And we heard that it actually snowed in a lot of places. Mount Lassen got quite a bit of snow and down that way. But it snowed as far as a little town south of Yosemite. What was the name of that little town, Judy? Can you remember?
Something like Murrieta.
Yeah, Murrieta, somewhere south of...
Trail or something.
Yeah, something like that up there. But it snowed up there just 2 or 3 days ago, and Frank got a little rain in Corscold, but we got nothing here, again, over.
Yeah, I saw on the news about the snow. Well, that means we'll probably have 100-degree weather in January.
Yeah, they probably will. 100-degree weather, that's right, and with the weather changes and all that. All right. Well, listen, we'll look for you on 6, of course, in a few minutes. So take care. Go get your lamb chops chopped up and chewed. And we'll see you in a few minutes, Ken. N6RO Oakley, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay. On audio, I'm on a D104. And I just checked the equalization on the transmitter. It's all screwed up. But I can't fix it on the fly. See you on 6 and 6RO.
And we're reading you. It sounds like a D104 or something like that. It's very, very narrow. It's crystal mic, or sounds like the old crystal microphones. Didn't have a lot of body to them, but it's working and it's easy to copy. It just doesn't have any real punch to it, as you know. Until you fiddle around with it, you can make them sound really good, but just as they are out of the box, they're pretty thin and doesn't have a lot of bass in it. Take care. We'll see you in a few minutes, Ken. N6RO, K6MYC, and we'll look for anybody in Clear Lake. If you guys are hearing me, come on in. We've got you checked in already, but we'll take you another check-in anyway. Over. Okay, nothing heard from Clear Lake. That means I'm going to go right on up to the Sacramento area, looking for KJ6KFB. Darren, KJ6KFB 756. Are you around, Darren? Okay, Darren usually comes in a little bit later in the evening. How about Bill? I know Bill has under the weather. Maybe you can gut it out and at least give us a check-in here on 222, Bill. KO6KD, Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Delta, KO6KD. K6MY, the Bozo Net, over. Oh boy. Hopefully you're not too sick to get to the mic even, over. Anyway, maybe we'll catch you on 6. Anybody else in this direction, Sacramento Valley, Sacramento, up and down the Sacramento and San Joaquin Valley, 222 Bozo Net, K6MYC, Central California, Delta Mike 07, calling and standing by for check-in.
Yeah, hello Mike, this is K6WIS direct again, over.
Yeah, very good. Well, you've got a little multipath on you, but quite a good signal, Paul. Go ahead.
Yeah, stronger signal on the direct path, but more QSP. You're peaking S8, but sometimes down to S6, but pretty clear. No multipathing, no warbling. You're pretty clear Q5, over.
Yeah, you're doing well, very strong here too. It's going to be a QSB time though. Yeah, I can tell right away. Going away or going way down in signal strength and then coming roaring back up again. But at least we got a check for what's happening on that path. He's already checked in. That was Paul, K6WIS 637.
Okay.
We got him. So there you go. Quite good copy though, Paul. Thanks for sticking around. And of course, we'll look for you one more time a little bit later here in another 15 or 20 minutes on 6 meters. K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC.
Hello, Paul.
Hey, hi Ken, 5x9 here. WA6OIB from K6WIS. Excellent strong signal here, Ken, over.
Well, thank you, sir. K6WIS and the gang, WA6OIB. You're peaking at 7, 5 and 7, so fine signal, way out of the noise, so you sound great. No QSB on you, you're solid here, so no wobbly or anything, so you're sounding good and solid. Anyway, good to hear you, and good to be back here with the gang, WA6OIB.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. WA6OIB, K6WIS. Yeah, so your London trip was interesting. You lost your luggage. I heard all about that. And so did you go buy some local clothes up and down in the London area, over?
Just a couple of T-shirts and whatnot, but ended up washing out my clothes every night at the hotel. So yeah, we went to Scotland, England, Wales, and then ended up in Ireland. So it was 2 weeks. So we spent a few days in each country and had a great time.
Oh, great. Okay, right, yeah. Last time I was up in England, I was actually up in Aberdeen, Scotland. That was my launching point for working on the North Sea off seismic survey vessels, over.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah. Well, we ended up started in Edinburgh, and we went down into York and into London, and then across over to Wales, and then took the ferry across. The whole bus. It was a touring bus, really nice outfitted bus, and took it on the ferry across over to Ireland, and ended up going around Ireland, and then ended up in Dublin and back home. So it was quite a trip.
Oh, all right, yeah. Hey, maybe you picked up a bit of an accent, perhaps. Okay, well, thanks for that. That sounds great. Swimming trees, Ken. Keep well, K6WIS.
Okay, good night, Paul. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
Yep, Roger. Okay. Okay, one more call for anybody in the Sacramento or San Joaquin Valley area for 222 Bozo Net before we go to Nevada. This is Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie in the Bozo Net, over. Okay, pretty quiet. Here we go right on up to Nevada. Okay, I'm going to call in N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, and KE7UQL. I hope you're back from your POTA trip, Daniel. We looked for you last night, but we didn't hear you. We assumed you were still up in the hills in the mountains at the park. Back to you. Let's see if Larry's in there. N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC. Okay, nothing from Larry. How about you, Daniel? I hope you're home. N7, KE7 UQL, KE7 UQL, K6MYC. Go ahead.
Here is 272. This is KE7 UQL. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, very good. A little warbly. I'll move the antenna a little bit and see if I can squeeze a little more signal out of you. I hope you made the required 10 contacts from your POTA location. Just for your information, I did make a contact with Aaron. Aaron, K6USY, who does our streaming here, went over to Nevada, Las Vegas, and he went north to Red Rock National Park or something close to that, and called me via Rob, KM6SRR. He gave Rob a text and gave a frequency out. It didn't work, but one thing led to another, and we got contact. We did make a POTA contract with K6USY using 10 watts and a vertical whip on 40 meters. Over.
You're 5 and 9 here in Gardnerville. N7WT on the side.
Roger, Larry. Stand by.
Okay, I was able to contact Rob's friend. That was my one QSO. I did not get the 10 to activate the park, but mission accomplished for getting Rob's friend over.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you didn't make more contacts. Aaron had some people that were trying to work him, and they heard me calling him. They'd been chasing him around the bend, and I had to move him a couple of times to get to a clear frequency, but we finally heard him and worked him quite nicely. I guess I was about 20 dB over 9 over there for Aaron. So he wasn't having any trouble with me, but other people were hearing me calling the POTA, and there was people that were looking for Aaron, but he couldn't hear them and they couldn't hear him. So I guess I don't know how many people he worked before he had to go QRT at about 7 o'clock here. Hey, anyway, congratulations. I wish you'd made a whole number of 10. I don't know whether they're going to be able to count that POTA contact or not. I don't know how the rules work on that one. Anyway, he made the contact with you. It should be a legitimate one, even if you didn't make more contacts, so who knows. Were you limited in power? What was your power up on the hill, Daniel, over?
Okay, the path has given us a little trouble tonight, but we'll work on that POTA a little more in the future. I just was pretty new and green at what I was doing, but we got the main one done, and that's what counts. KE7UQL.
Yeah, what were you running up there for power and antennas? Daniel, what were you running for your power on 222 on the hill? What were you running for power and antennas, and what band did you work them on, over?
I worked them on 40. I was running 30 watts, and he said I was F9 at his location, so people should have heard me. They just were not out there. There was a few people who tried to send me the digital stuff, but they didn't read the activation note that I was phone only.
Okay, 30, I think you said 30 watts, and what was the antenna?
Inset dipole.
Oh, gee, it seemed like you should have made more than just the one contact. Were you able to make many calls, and you just couldn't raise anybody? Is that what happened?
Well, I caught a couple people. They was not with POTA, but I talked with some people who were just looking for people to talk to, and I was getting out. Everything was working. It was just nobody on 40 meters. Everybody was higher up and on digital, over.
Oh, boy. Okay, that's too bad. There was a lot of people on 40 tonight. We did this around 6:30 to 7 o'clock local time. And I had a lot of QR Mary. Of course, at that hour with my location here, I was talking to W1s and all the way back to the East Coast already, trying to work Aaron. So the band was wide open. There was a ton of people on there, above 7,200, of course. All righty, let me go back to Larry. Larry, good signal here. We got you checked in. Good to hear you. N7 Whiskey Tango 657 K6MYC. Go ahead, Larry.
Okay, good evening. And right at the moment, you're 5 and 9, but you go from 5 and 9 and right into the noise. The QSB is pretty rapid, so hopefully it'll hold up here to at least say hello. K6MYC, this is number 657. Checking in. Over.
Well, you're checking in. You're gonna have to make me pull another chair out here. You're so loud. You're right in the room with us here. Over.
Yeah, that's just say right now we're on a peak at 5 and 9 plus. Over.
Yeah, sure is. Man, what a peak. Okay, good. Great to hear you. Hopefully we'll catch you on 6 in just a few minutes here. We'll look for you on 6. We're just about done here. We're going to go back to the Bay Area for late checks and missed, and then we'll call you guys. I assume Richard's going to be in here, and I know you will be. I don't think Daniel's got a 6-meter antenna up. So we'll work you and Richard at least on 6 meters in just a few minutes, Larry. Booming signal, 7-3. Try to check in on the 2-meter nets from time to time. We've been missing you. N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC.
Okay, K6MYC and 7WT. Yeah, a lot of times the 2-meter net comes just too late for me, so that's why I'm missing it a lot. Anyway, we'll say 7-3 speed on 6 and 7WT.
Okay, 7-3, and we'll see you in a minute on 6. Anybody else while I'm here? K6MYC 222 Bozo Net. Going back to the Bay Area for late checks and missed, and then over onto 6.
KE7UQL 73.
Boy, that was loud. Okay. Very loud that time. And sorry that it took so long for that big peak to come up. Must be long, slow fades tonight, Daniel. Anyway, congratulations, and I'm glad you're home. I don't think you'll have anything on 6 tonight, correct?
Correct. And no 1296 tomorrow. I have to put that one back up. Over.
No 1296. Okay, very good. Well, hopefully Larry will be in there on 1296, and we'll get somebody on that band. All the bands have been a little bit light. We only got 31 on 2 meters on Sunday night, only 31 stations, which is way down from normal. So a combination of summer and a lot of things going on in the world, I think. 7-3 Daniel, K6MYC, 7-3.
Roger. Good night, KE7UQL.
KE7UQL from Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar. Any copy?
Hopefully I won't bother Paul there. He's trying to work Daniel in Nevada, Carson City there. QRZ the Bay Area, Bozo Net, 222. Late checks and missed. Anybody left here before we go over to 6 meters? K6MYC, 222 Bozo Net, QRZ.
249 over.
making progress on all this. Anyway, I'll let you get on to the Sacramento guys. I know you got probably a log jam waiting for you there. K6NYC, WA6HNA, Groveland. '73.
759. Okay. 759 KR6MR. Well, all I heard were the guys you were talking to, or some of them, but nobody local yet. Over. Okay, Mike, you there? Do you need a little more chatter for you to lock onto me? Over. Not this evening. I did talk to Bill earlier today. I was out driving around. He sounded a lot better than he did last night.
Yeah, well, he did not check in on 222, so he's still not checking in here, which is a shame. Maybe he'll see. Maybe we'll see him on 6 meters. Can you hear him on 6 when he's here? Over.
If I turn my antenna away from you, when I am pointed in your direction, I have a very, very steep knoll for both Bill and Darren.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see if we can catch somebody down there that can see if Bill's there. Bill's a little bit worried that he doesn't get through with his 100 watts. His audio's a little weak, but generally speaking, I don't have any noise tonight, so I should be in pretty good shape tonight. 7-3, John, and stay on frequency if you care, and we'll keep an ear on for you. Of course, hopefully we'll make a good contact with you tomorrow on 1296. Be looking forward to that. Did you get the outer box done or not?
Still working on it. I have some hardware on order, trying to find the right size stainless steel screws. Are not available locally.
I'll be darned. You mean you got a hardware store that doesn't carry stainless?
440, 3/4 inch long, type 313 stainless, or 318, I think it is, Allen head cap screws.
Oh, wow. Why do you need Allen heads?
I like them in where it goes in. I have a better feel with the Allen head than I do with a Phillips head.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes it difficult, though, when the hardware stores don't carry Allens very often unless it's a very common size. 1032 maybe, but when you get down to that little tiny stuff, they don't fuss with that. There's no money in it, and that's hard to keep track of. So, yeah, you've got to order that stuff special. Well, good luck with it. I don't think you'll get your stuff in time, so hopefully maybe you can... I don't know, maybe you got everything torn apart and you can't jumper around it to make a signal. Over.
I have not disassembled everything yet. I can put it back together operational in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, that might be worthwhile based on your hardware thing. You might be waiting another week before you get that. All right. Oh, if we see you, we see you. Good luck, John. KR
Bozo
759. Yeah, you didn't give your Bozo number so Judy could hear it tonight. WB KR6MR, K6MYC, now into Sacramento. I'm looking for any check-ins for the Bozo Net. Over.
7-2, Mr. Bozo, 7-2, old Frank up here in Course Gold, W6BBS.
Okay, old Frank. we got you. And I know you're here because you're running the stream. And I worked Aaron, by the way, on the POTA. He was on red. Did you hear the comments that I made a contact with him on 40?
Negative. I've been a little busy. I thought there was a problem with the stream, and I've been checking things because for some reason I'm just not hearing your audio real well. I hear everybody else is great, but no big deal. Everything's working and nobody's complaining, so that's good. So I didn't hear that particular comment. I did listen to the beginning of the 220 net, and then thank you very much, Michael. You wore me out. I was dragging 200 feet of 1 5/8 straight up my mountain.
Okay. Yeah, well, by the way, you were right on the boards. I apologize for thinking that it felt like it dropped in, but it wasn't. It was off by about 3/8 of an inch, and that board on that side only is about 3/8 of an inch above, so I couldn't tell that things were slanted. Anyway, we took it apart and rebuilt it. I'm in the final stages of putting it back together, and I got the sides on, and we did what you did, essentially cut it to the sideways length, and it's a little short the other way, but I'm adding a piece on the front, so it'll be okay when it's all done. I almost got done with it before the net started, but we ran out of time here. Anyway, you were right on the fit. I didn't give me a chance to confirm that you were correct on that one. Anyway, sometimes you're right, sometimes I'm right. In this case, you were right. Anyway, okay on the Bozo. I don't know. I think everything's okay. I don't know why my audio would be down here, but I am on the FTDX 101. And I don't know whether Aaron can get in this one and set the monitor volume up or what. Nothing other than that has changed here. And I haven't changed it, so it should be the way it's been running all along. Okay, let's see. Anybody in Sacramento, go ahead, please. K6NYC.
Kilo Oscar 6, Delta Hotel India.
Oh, hi, Merle. Big signal tonight. KO6DHI, KO6 Delta Hotel India in Modesto. Give us your Bozo number, Merle.
1134. Yeah, good to hear you in there, Mike. Boy, it's nice and quiet now, that's for sure. I do have a question for you. What is your opinion on rotatable dipoles?
I don't know what you mean by what's my opinion. They work. They don't have much directivity. What band are you trying to rotate and get signal on?
Well, I'm still looking now. I was thinking maybe a 20 or a 40 meter, and then there's some that are supposed to be multi-band. You know, you have to use the tuner, of course, you know, the external tuner and stuff. I was just wondering what you thought of them, you know, because I hear bad and I hear good, and I figure you're the one to ask that would take and have the best knowledge for me.
Rotatable dipole is just that. It's kind of omnidirectional, except you got a little null on the ends. And its performance is related to its height above ground in terms of wavelength. If you're up a half wavelength on 40 meters, which is 65 feet or so, it starts to work reasonably well. And you have about an 18 dB front to side end null on the dipole. If it's a full size, it doesn't change much, except you get a little bit more bandwidth with a full size. We make a whole bunch of coil-loaded elements for 40, and that's what I use in most of the beams here. We have two element 40 and a 3-element 40 here on 2 different towers, and the elements totally are about 42, 43 feet long instead of 65. You don't get the gain with the dipole, so they're not much good in terms of that. And your pattern is so broad that you don't really have to rotate them very much to get usually a peak on a guy. and without putting it up very high, you don't get much of an end null. So you don't get rid of noise either. So if you could make it a 2-element Yagi, it makes a whole bunch of difference. Now you get gain, you get pattern shaping and front to back, and all kinds of good things happen. I've got a reduced size 2-element here called a 40M2 Mini. It's a 20-foot boom. The elements are about 42 feet long, and they're very, very effective. And the front to back on it is unusually good. It's 20 to 25 dB on the front to back on a 2. Normally you can't get that with a full size, but because it's shrunk and the way I built it and designed it, it has better front to back than a full size dipole or full size 2-element. I could go on for months on 40-meter elements and dipoles. For 20 meters, it's hardly worth the effort. Just make it a 2-element if you can. There shouldn't be any reason why you'd use a tuner. Most of the time, antennas that are multi-band in those ranges and rotatable, they also have singular resonances on each band, and you should not need a tuner unless you're trying to push it to the extremes of the band edges. Over.
Hey, Roger. Well, that definitely makes a lot of sense there. Yeah, I saw that little mini 40 there on your, I think it's what I saw there on your website, and I really kind of like that. So, okay. Well, that answered my questions there. I think if I go that way there, I'll just go with a 2-element Yagi or more. I think that's just a better way to go all the way around and everything. Well, I thank you for your information, that's for sure. And, yeah, definitely. I'm looking at, you got a couple that I'm really liking quite a bit.
I'm sorry, missed the last. What is your liking quite a bit?
You got a couple of antennas there on your site that I really, really like quite a bit.
Okay, well, I'll tell you something from a personal standpoint. Of all the antennas I've designed all my life, and numbers in the thousands, I think I'm most proud of the 2-element Mini 40 because it came out better in every respect than I expected it to. It's small, it's light. On a 20-foot boom, it can be rotated easily with a modest rotator. It takes a modest tower to hold it up. So it's a real economy-driven mentality, but it performs like a big guy, so you can get in there and compete with the big boys with this thing. You might keep an ear on 40. There's a guy, ZS1 Papa Zulu. He has one, so you'll be able to hear. If you hear him, he's on the band somewhere between 7150 and 7130 almost nightly, and you might keep an ear out for him. He has one of our 2-element 40s, so you'll be able to hear it from a half a world away. It's a performer, and I use mine alternately. Sometimes people on the other end can't tell the difference between that and the 3-element. There is a difference, but it's mostly in terms of front to back and a little bit of gain, but hard to tell the signal strength difference many times. All right, so much. I'll let you go, and we can answer more questions as you get them. We'll string this answering session out a little bit so we don't take up too much time for the other guys here. Let me see. We also have some other guys in the San Joaquin Valley and over toward the Bay Area. KO6 Delta Golf Juliet, I believe. Are you in here tonight? Over? Nothing heard from him. Okay. Merle, 73s for now, and we'll catch up with you on the other bands here. Big, strong signal tonight on 6 meters here. KO6 DHI, K6MYC. You still there, Merle? Where'd you go, Merle? Okay, I think I'm still transmitting. Anybody else hearing me here?
Yeah, you're KM6R, you're coming in good.
Okay. I don't know where he went. QRZ again, Sacramento. Anybody else in the Sacramento or up and down the San Joaquin Valley for 6 meters, kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, over.
803, course gold.
Okay, hi Dan. Give us your call sign.
Yeah, Kilo Mike 6, Hotel Kilo.
Very good. What's new in course gold there? Did you get any rain?
Oh no, a few days ago there was like a couple of little drizzles, but nothing to count on.
Yeah, well, you got a good strong signal here on 6. Boy, you're loud. Over.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. I think we talked about that once. I just tried loading up a long wire, infed long wire, and somehow it points at you.
Yeah, you must have a lobe on the long wire, or at least one lobe that goes toward me. Yeah, good signal. Good to hear you. Thanks for checking in, Dan. KM6HK Course Gold, K6MYC.
Okay, very good. It's a little traffic. If you happen to talk to Dane, tell him we're looking for him to come back sometime.
Well, he said something about being up there till the end of the month, like the 29th or something. So that's coming up pretty quick. So I think he's about done with Shaver in another 4 or 5 days here. Over.
I see. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I worked him yesterday.
Right, he's doing pretty good there, mobile. Finally got that wired together.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with wires, but he's been doing okay on the VHF bands. I worked him on 432. He's weakest on 432, but it's just a tiny little antenna, and he doesn't run a lot of power there either.
Right, it's not easy. All right, 7-3.
7-3, Dan. KM6HK, K6MYC, Bozo Net, beaming up the San Joaquin Valley. QRZ, K6MYC, Bozo Net. N6RO, N6 Radio Oscar, K6MYC. Good evening again, Ken. Oh, maybe Ken's still having a lamb chop, and maybe it's stuck in his jaw there. Maybe he'll check in the next few minutes here. Anybody else copying me in this direction? I'm pointed right up through the middle of the valley. K6MYC, Bozo Net. Okay, something ending in uniform. Do it again a couple of times and your Bozo number, please. Over.
Okay, Mike. W86 Juliet Yankee uniform. W86 Juliet Yankee uniform. Bozo number 741. Number 741.
Yeah, QSL, WA6JYU 741. We've got you all okay?
Jack?
Yeah, I guess so. Jack, good evening. You're very weak, but I'm probably not pointed right at you, Jack. What town are you in? Refresh my memory, Jack. Over.
Okay, Mike, I'm in Novato. I'm in the town of Novato.
Okay, and you're running a single quad loop. That's why I always have trouble with you from Novato there. You're never very strong on 6 meters here, Jack, but we got you. You're checked in. Anything new to report up there? You going to make any improvements on the 6-meter antenna? Over.
Well, I hope to have my yard. The man who does my yard work, he was kind of laid up. He had a mishap sometime, so he is supposed to come around in the first part of next month and trim the hedge in the back to the neighbors, and hopefully then I can get him with his long ladder to crank my tubular mast down.
Okay. Well, I didn't get too much of that, Jack, but I guess something's going to happen next month. Maybe you'll have time to get the antenna repaired. If you could get that 2-element quad back up again, it would be better, I think. And I don't know whether you can rotate that thing or not, but the 2-element quad would probably be a big improvement here for you on this band. Anyway, we've got you. Good to hear you from Novato. Thanks for checking in. It's been some time. WA6JYU, K6MYC, 73, Jack.
7-3, Mike, 7-3. K6MYC, WA6JYU.
Roger, 73, Jack, K6MYC, clear and standing by for N6RO. Okay, nothing heard. How about the Bay Area? Bay Area Bozo Net, 6 meters, K6MYC.
N5NPD 1129.
Now, big strong signal from you, Brett. Good to hear you. N5NPD 1129, K6MYC, and I'm sure you were hearing Merle and listening in on our conversation about dipoles and stuff. Over.
I did not hear him. It was very quiet until you spun up around N6RO's direction, and I started hearing you a little bit better, and now you're very good now. So I did not hear the conversation with Merle. Over.
Yeah, I'll be darned. I would think that you and Modesto, you guys are just across the valley. You should hear each other really well. Over.
Yeah, tonight not so well. It's been very quiet.
I'll be darned. Well, anyway, he was asking about 40-meter rotatable dipoles and 20-meter rotatable dipoles, and I tried to steer him away from that. It's a kind of a lackluster antenna. It's hardly worth the expense. If you're going to go to the expense of putting something up that's rotatable, you should use at least make it into a 2-element. And he's looked at our 2 elements and likes it. I gave him my thoughts on it. I like the antenna. It's one of the best antennas I've ever done from a standpoint of coming out like I designed it, coming out better than I expected even. Over.
Roger. Yeah. You know, for 40 meters, my little wire that I put up, it's not little, I guess, 130 feet, but it does pretty well for me. Over.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Well, when you put up a beam at 60 or 70 feet, a 2-element on that band, all of a sudden you have worldwide communications, and stateside is straightforward stuff, but worldwide opens the band worldwide overnight, every night. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I just don't have the real estate for that. Wish I did, so maybe someday when I decide to vacate California, I can pick another location that has a little bit more real estate.
You mean you don't have room for a tower?
I'm here in town. I'm in the middle of the city, so I could probably do it at about 40 feet maximum.
Well, that's better than nothing. A tower is almost essential when you start getting into HF seriously.
Yeah, on the list. I got some power coming here tomorrow, so I ordered an amplifier, so this should be here to help me with some HF stuff here. So we'll get that squared away in the next few days, and we'll see what happens then. Over.
Yeah, what'd you get?
ACOM 1200S.
Okay, well, that's a nice amp. And reasonably priced. Not a bad little amp. That'll give you some push and make it easier for other people on the other end to hear you. All right. We'll let you go, and I'm sorry you couldn't copy Merle, but maybe Merle and you can have a phone conversation or a conversation if you point at each other or go over 2 meters or something. I know you're buddies. Anyway, 7-3 for now, Brett. N5NPD, K6MYC.
Take care, Mike and Judy. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Well, certainly hope so. 1296 tomorrow, you know.
Oh, well, no, sorry, Wednesday.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. All right, take care. K6MYC clear, and QRZ again in the Bay Area, Bozo Net, 6 meters. Over. Over towards Santa Cruz here. We're not getting anybody in the Bay Area on 6. Not a soul. You guys have been swamped and beat badly by coarse gold. I feel sorry for the Bay Area for any number of reasons. All right. KW6S, how about it, Tom? K6MYC.
How about we feel sorry for them that they got to live in San Francisco and not in Corscold?
Yeah. I feel sorry for them for any number of reasons, Frank.
Roger.
They don't know how to enjoy life and take it in cubicles. Compartments, so to speak.
Right.
All right. Boy, I got terrible noise in this direction, but I should hear Tom. How about let's see if Scott's in there. WA6LIE at the home. QTH tonight, maybe Scott. K6MYC, over. No Scott either. Boy, oh boy. Must be something on TV that's got everybody's attention. I'm going to point down toward KB6RQU and see if he's there. KB6RQU. Rick, I wonder if you're in there tonight on 6 meters. KB6RQU or anybody else that's hearing my signals. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, Central California, 6 meter Bozo Net, over. Okay, how about the KC5DTU? Anybody around Fresno? There should be somebody here on 6, over. I guess we're all getting burned out on 6 meters, Frank. Too much FT8. The guys have just given up on the band.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, I like that FT8 and all that, but I like it for stuff like moon bounce that you can't work elsewise.
Exactly.
Of course, that's why a lot of these guys like it. There's a couple of reasons. One, you don't really have to work for anything. I mean, you have to spend the time sitting there in front of the radio and a computer, but you do get to work stuff if you've got a relatively weak station, a relatively small station. You get to work stuff you wouldn't do on phone with FT8, so there's something to be said for that. But when the whole world just heads over there and says, let's give everything else up, it makes you wonder what's going on.
Factors, I won't go into it. We've talked about it some. Anyway, I guess that's the end of the net here. Rob, are you still with us?
Of course. Ben's not on because he had flooring put in his whole house, and he hasn't really got his station back together, so that's why he's not reporting in. Over.
Yeah, no Ben, no Kerry, no AA6S, no WA6AAJ. And I guess Ken was in here. We got Ken earlier, so we did get one station down there in Fresno or in Clovis anyway. Course Gold smoked them all tonight.
Yep, sure did. What's your number or count tonight, Mike?
I doubled you, Rob.
No, we got it. We're counting. 14.
I only got 11. I missed something there, over.
Hi, it's Judy. I'll read them all to you. I started with 226, 884. Over, are you ready?
Yeah, I got them. Go ahead.
835. 432, 657, 249, 1013, 759, 72, 1134, 803, 741, 1129, and 42. Over.
Okay, 42, which one is that?
Michael.
47 is Michael.
47 is Michael. I'm sorry, I've got it written in pencil. 47 is Michael. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay, I got to write them down. I got them in different order you did, so all I could do is write your numbers down quick. I'll check them out.
I can tell you, I can read them again. There's only 14. Over.
No, that's okay. I wrote them down. Now, you got 835 down there. I don't think we were able to get Ken up there and, oh, shoot, what is it? Begins with O.
835, I had Ken at N6RO.
Yeah, we didn't get him. Mike called him twice. He must have been still eating his pork chops. Over.
Okay, we got 13 then. I'll cross him off.
Am I correct, Mike? Over.
Yeah, Roger. We called him a couple of times. He was around. He's in between meals and eating dinner and whatever, or maybe he's got a net or something that or he gets on. He should have been here, but that's why we put him down, because he always checks in. I thought he'd check in while we were calling for the Bay Area. But no, we did not hear Ken on 6. Over.
Okay. Well, I guess they pretty much match up.
Yeah, I think you do. I listened to Judy's numbers, and other than my Bozo number, she had everybody right in there. Good night, all. We'll see you guys, whoever can get with us tomorrow on 1296. We'll see you there. Hopefully we'll get more than 5 check-ins.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I can't remember if I discussed it with you or not, but I got everything pretty well going there right now. We're waiting for some more deliveries. I want to get back on my stuff tomorrow and spend a day on it and just kind of work back and forth day by day. Over.
Yeah, Roger, no problem.
All right, very good. Good night to you, Judy. Thanks for helping out. Thanks for doing the net, Mike. And this is W6BBS, just waiting for you gentlemen to finish, and I will bring the stream down.
Good night, Frank.
Frank, W6BBS, KM6SR. Hey, Mike, another one I found here, 1013. That was Greg. Did we get him over?
Yeah, 1113. Yeah, Greg was in.
No, he's 1013.
Yeah, 1013, I think, is in WA6HNA. That's Greg, whatever his number is.
Yeah, that's the one. I didn't remember hearing him, but okay, that's the one where I was off. Now we're even, thanks.
Yeah, we talked to him. He came in just before I turned the antenna down toward and picked up Phil.
I didn't hear that one. Yeah, I'm not hearing so good anymore on my equipment. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, that's got it all taken care of. K6NYC, KM6SR, and Judy, 73.
73.
Okay, good night all. K6NYC shutting her off.
All right, good night, everybody. This is W6BBS. I'm going to shut down the stream. Thanks, everybody, for participating.
Thanks for the effort, Frank. Good night.